It's Sunday evening in this picture-perfect Southern California community, and the Salamas are getting ready to end their Ramadan fast for the day. Omar, a college student, is in the living room studying his Quran, and his mother is finishing up the meal she will serve after prayers. It looks a lot like a typical American family getting together for the weekend, and that's exactly how they want the world to see it.
We're no different than the next person. We want a safe place for our kids. We want drug-free kids, alcohol-free kids. We want everything.
Salama, born to a Venezuelan mother and a Polish father, says her children have had some minor run-ins with people making fun of their religion in this post-September 11th world. But she says her approach has always been to deal with it head-on and then move on.
And the USA, they tend to dwell, and they hammer it and just make everybody never forget. My parents said, no, we're not going to live that way. There's a saying in Spanish, ni tanto ni tampoco, not too much and not too little.
And it seems her children have taken on that same philosophy. 16-year-old Yusuf describes himself as just a regular kid whose main concern over summer break was becoming a starter on his high school football team. He says he hasn't faced any unique hurdles growing up Muslim, but he has come to expect a few off-color jokes from his friends.
It's not any with malicious intent, it's more like, it's kind of just, what guys do, we kind of just clown on each other and things like that.
Yusuf's older brother Omar says he was lucky that his classmates' teasing never went too far. But he says in the days leading up to the war in Afghanistan and the hunt for Osama bin Laden, he quickly learned that someone was always watching him.
If the dean got a hold of it or whoever in the school heard that I punched a guy because he made fun of me, I knew that somebody would be thinking, oh, there goes that Muslim again. They're all like that. They always react violently.
According to a Pew Research Center poll conducted earlier this year, 40% of those surveyed say they believe Islam is more likely to encourage violence than other religions. That number is up 15% from March 2002. Add that to the heated debates over plans to build an Islamic cultural center near the World Trade Center site, and a series of controversial hearings on Capitol Hill about radical Islam. Skeptics are left asking, are Muslims any better off than they were in the days immediately after 9/11?
We've had to do a little more discussion about, what our beliefs are, what our intentions are as Muslims living in this country, and to try to break down the idea, well, you're our family, we know you guys are good, but what about everyone else?
Carrie Ansari lives about 25 miles outside of Washington with her husband Ahmed, an artistic director for a nonprofit organization, and their 3 children. Her oldest daughter, Anissa, had just started kindergarten at a small Islamic school in Denver when the 2001 terror attacks happened. With angry protesters gathering near her child's school and death threats being called into the family's mosque, she says it started to feel like their close-knit community was under siege.
My husband at that time said, why don't you just kind of lay low a little bit? Don't go in such a visible place like the park, but we're not sure how people are accepting this.
She says slowly things went back to normal, but years later, after they had moved to Illinois, her son became a constant target for other students at his suburban Chicago elementary school.
This one kid, he passed me a note. The note was a picture of 2 towers and a little boom sort of thing on there. And he said, "Look familiar."
Still, Sajid, now 13, and 15-year-old Anissa say they are proud to be Muslims, and they refuse to let extreme characters shown on television define them.
Our family, as my brother said, it's not a house of insane, crazy people, or that I'm not oppressed, or that... Because people, a lot of times, they look at me or my mom and kind of with this, as though we're not intelligent enough to think for ourselves. We're just, no, we are. I don't want to boast, but my family is really very smart.
It is that confidence and unshakable faith of their young children that's left families like the Ansaris and the Salamas feeling stronger 1 decade after an attack launched in the name of Islam forever changed the U.S.
This anniversary is important to us also, and in that it hurt our country. This is our country as much as anyone else's, and we are part of this fabric of this country, and we love this country, and we're proud to be Americans, and we're proud to be Muslims.
And for their increasing strength and patience, both families say Alhamdulillah, or thank God. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.